Welcome to Curious Lorenzo, a podcast where I research in real time topics that I'm curious about. So today, I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a very long time, and that is artificial intelligence, and not just artificial intelligence the way it is looked at today in the news and what people are talking about at the water cooler, but also as it pertains to and is affected by, supercomputers. So I don't know a whole lot about either. I've been using the AI chatbots, so large language models, I guess what they're called. The most popular, of course, is ChatGPT, which is developed by OpenAI. The other one is Bing, which I think uses OpenAI's ChatGPT. And then, of course, Bard, which is made by Google. And there's a bunch of other ones too. So there are those chatbots. And then the other big piece of artificial intelligence that is popular today are the image generators. So OpenAI also has one called, it's escaping me right now. Oh, DALL-E. DALL-E is made by OpenAI, and I also believe that Bing uses DALL-E. But the other really popular one, I think, is called Midjourney. So these, my sprinklers are going. Great. That's okay. I'm sitting outside. Sprinklers are going. A little bit of background noise. Whatever. I just wanted to record this. I've been wanting to do this for some time. So, yeah. Do you want to hear some relaxing sounds for a second? Sure. Let's do that. And I'll take a sip of my coffee. All right, so yeah, artificial intelligence is in the news. Image generating, word generating, and then even music generating. I heard on the radio the other day, not the radio, it was a podcast. I heard on a podcast the other day, somebody had created a song, a couple different songs, I think. One was a song where Jay-Z was doing the backup vocals for this really small artist that not very popular artist. He used Jay-Z as his backup vocals, or he featuring Jay-Z, but it wasn't actually Jay-Z, it was just Jay-Z's voice. So there's all kinds of really cool things that could be done. I mean, depending on where you stand, I guess. I guess there's a lot of people who don't like where AI is going. Some people don't know how it works, haven't researched. Like me, I know I have a very surface level understanding of AI. I listen to a podcast where they talk about AI quite a bit, called Hard Fork. It's a New York Times tech podcast. So that's where I get my information about AI. And then also using AI, I use ChatGPT all the time. I use Bing a little bit less. And then I use Bard sometimes. All three of those pretty popular right now. All three of those have different advantages, disadvantages. But to me, it's been a very useful tool. One thing I like to do with AI, like the chatbots specifically, is I use it to sort of develop my ideas. for me, having a conversation helps me to sort of get those seeds of ideas and help them to grow into something bigger. So I will have a discussion with this chatbot with whatever idea I have, and then let it go from there until I have whatever I'm trying to accomplish is fully complete. And then I can use it to help myself refine that process. So it's pretty cool tool in my opinion. But then I was thinking about this. How does a supercomputer, how is that going to affect AI? Image generating, music generating, language generating, even like video generating. Everywhere where there's a computer, how would a computer sort of enhance that AI system? So I guess I'll start with defining what a supercomputer is, and go from there. So I'm just going to pull up Google, and I'm going to type in, and I'm on my iPhone. I don't know if you can hear the tapping, the tapping. I'm going to click the mute switch here so it's not, well, I don't know. Maybe the haptics will be enhance the podcast. I don't know. So what is a supercomputer? All right, so just the first thing I see is a definition on Google. A particularly powerful mainframe computer. Okay, what's a mainframe computer? Mainframe is a large, high-speed computer, especially one supporting numerous workstations or peripherals. Okay. So it's a particularly powerful. If I look at Wikipedia, a supercomputer is a computer with a high level of performance as compared to a general-purpose computer. The performance of a supercomputer is commonly measured in floating point operations per second instead of million instructions per second. Floating point operations per second instead of million instructions per second. Okay. Other people ask, what is a supercomputer and what is it used for? The term is commonly applied to the fastest, high-performing systems available at any given time. Such supercomputers have been used primarily for, sprinklers went off. Such computers have been used particularly for scientific and engineering work requiring exceedingly high-speed computations. That was a bit of a snip from Britannica.com. Other people ask, how much faster is a supercomputer than a PC? From a different perspective, supercomputers can be 1 million times more processing power than the fastest laptop. And that's IBM. That's a result from IBM. What are the three characteristics? I don't know why three. What are three characteristics of the supercomputer? And this is from a snip from Indeed. These types of computers can solve complicated calculations that other standard computers cannot. A supercomputer allows multiple users to access supercomputing at the same time. It has a very high storage capacity. The supercomputer can handle applications that require real-time processing. So, yeah, lots of different questions here. I'm still not, well, maybe I need to ask the question, and I plan to bring ChatGPT into this, actually, just because the last podcast I recorded, I did not have ChatGPT, and I think it's kind of changing the way that I research. I use ChatGPT and Google in tandem. I will kind of ask questions of ChatGPT, or Bing if it's something current, because ChatGPT can only go back so far as its data, and it can't interact with the web as of right now. But I'll kind of have that conversation with ChatGPT, and then I'll verify those facts within Google. So let's just type one more in Google. What's the difference between a standard computer and a supercomputer? All right. This first result is from a website called techtarget.com, and it says processing power is the main difference between supercomputers and general-purpose computer systems. A supercomputer can perform 100 pflops. A typical general-purpose computer can only perform hundreds of gigaflops to tens of teraflops. Supercomputers consume lots of power. I don't know what a pflop is, and I don't know what a teraflop is. I have heard teraflop before, but I have not heard. I don't know what it is. So let's just Google it. Teraflop. So teraflop, definition in Google, a unit of computing speed equal to 1 million, so 10 to the 12th power, floating point operations per second. I don't know how to put this into context for my brain to understand this. Let me just say, Apple, so the fastest computers right now that you can buy, off the top of my head, fastest CPUs that you could buy, I would guess, and I'm just going to think about this for a second. Well, this is my guess, and I'm going to Google it. The fastest CPU you can buy on a machine that you could build, or you can assemble computers on your own, or you can buy directly pre-assembled, I would say, is the AMD Threadripper is the fastest CPU. And then I'm going to venture to guess it's going to be the Apple chips, Apple Silicon, the M2 Ultra, I think is what it's called now. Let's see here. Fastest consumer CPU ranking. So let's see here. First website is Tom's Hardware. CPU benchmarks and hierarchy 2023 processor ranking charts. So, all right, I'm going to go to the image right away. And yeah, it's the Ryzen 9. Looks like it's the fastest one. So it's, I don't know. I wish they could just condense it into like a chart. Oh, wait, here we go. 2023 gaming CPU benchmark. So Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9, then iCore 9. I don't see the M processors on here, so I wonder if this is just not taking into account that. I don't want to know gaming. Let's see here. I know there's what's the Cinebench CPU rankings. Here we go. All right. And this doesn't look like it's accurate either. Well, maybe it is. Let's see, what date is this? Cinebench R23 scores. So according to this, the fastest, the highest score is the Core i9 13900KS with a multi-core score of 40,830, a clock speed of 3.2 gigahertz. So the top ones are the Core i9s and Ryzen 9, Core i7, and then M2 Ultra is the 21st. I guess maybe I was wrong. The M2 Ultra, 27,000. So There you go. I guess I thought for sure the M processors were the fastest, but Intel is making some pretty beefy CPUs. So what does this mean for teraflops? So Core i9 teraflops, and I'm kind of getting off track, but that's okay. This is what my podcast is about. Core i9 teraflops. So Intel Intel website comes up first. The new Core i9 7980XE Extreme Edition processor runs at about 4.3 gigahertz faster if overclocked, and thus should calculate to 1.3 teraflops. All right, so let's see. M2 Ultra teraflops. M2 Ultra features 60 to 76 core GPU with 9728 ALUs. I don't know what that is. And 27.2 teraflops. Wait a second. No, this is T-flops. And then the Intel one says 1.3 teraflops. Now I'm confused. So, either way, well, maybe there's a difference between teraflops and T-flops. I'm just going to search teraflops. Oh, it says 27.2 teraflops. All right, we'll go with that. And that's a Wikipedia article about the Apple M2. Let's see, what's the difference between, and then the last one I'm going to ask, what's the difference between a teraflop and a P-flop? So what's the difference between a teraflop and a P-flop? A gigaflop, so this is from IBM's website. A gigaflop is a billion floating point operations per second. A teraflop is 1 trillion. And a petaflop is quadrillion. Flops particularly matter when you are talking about high performance computing. So that is pretty insane. A teraflop is 1 trillion. Floating point, I don't know what a floating point operation is. You have to probably get a computer science degree to completely be able to explain this. I don't know. But has a teraflop is a trillion floating point operations per second. And a petaflop is a quadrillion. I'm just trying to wrap my head around. That's pretty insane. All right, so let's bring in ChatGPT, because now I want to know, what is supercomputing? How is this going to affect AI? So that's what I'm going to type here. I don't know about you guys, but I always begin my ChatGPT conversations with a greeting, and ChatGPT always seems to remind me, hey, I'm not alive. I don't need a greeting, but I still do it because, you never know. You never know if they're going to remember you when the switch is flipped. Never mind. All right, so let's move on. What is, or hang on, how am I going to phrase this? That's one thing too. When you're doing the AI, prompt is pretty important. So I'm just going to type here. I'm thinking about artificial intelligence and supercomputers They are both advancing rapidly right now. Do you think these worlds will collide? Collide? And how do you think this will affect humans? There we go. By the way, the new ChatGPT app, well, I want to say it's new, but maybe like a month old. It's great. The haptics, like everything about it is like great. All right, so what's happening here? Oh, something went wrong. Please try. Okay, here we go. All right. It accidentally gave me 2 responses. So here's the first response from ChatGPT. Indeed, both artificial intelligence and supercomputing are advancing rapidly. The convergence of these technologies has the potential to revolutionize various fields from healthcare and research to industry and entertainment. So, healthcare, I'm not sure how that would impact maybe diagnosing and providing treatments. Maybe you could do this automated sort of healthcare. I watched a video on Reddit a long time ago where a surgeon like peeled the skin off of a grape using surgical tools that were robotics, but he was controlling them, but he was like 1,000 miles away. Maybe artificial intelligence could then perform these things like in your house. Like maybe you can have a robot doctor that can diagnose you and treat you like in your house. I don't know. All right, what's the other one? Research makes sense. I'm researching now using artificial intelligence. It's a really great tool, and it could even just get better. But not just research on stupid things you're curious about in the moment, but like things that might matter even more. Industry, entertainment. So entertainment, yeah, it's already having an impact. I know people are striking right now. And one of the points of strike, I guess, is that I guess using large language models, you can write a script. I guess you could write a pretty not okay script. It's not human, but you can write a script. So these writers are like, hey, don't replace us with AI. And I think AI is going to get, of course, it's going to get better and better and better. So at some point, maybe it could write a really great script, and that's going to make those writers sort of obsolete. So that's worrisome, to say the least, especially if that's your field. Okay, what else? And music and all sorts of other areas of entertainment. All right. As AI algorithms become more sophisticated, they can leverage the immense computing power of supercomputers to process complex tasks and analyze vast amounts of data. This collaboration could lead to breakthroughs in solving complex problems, but it also raises ethical and societal considerations. Ensuring responsible and beneficial AI deployment will be crucial to harnessing the potential benefits while minimizing potential risks to humans. Yeah, absolutely. And then my mistake in second response here to the same question. It says, absolutely, the intersection of artificial intelligence and supercomputing is becoming increasingly significant. Supercomputers provide the computational power necessary for training and running complex AI models, allowing for faster and more accurate results. This collaboration could lead to advancements in fields such as scientific research, medicine, climate modeling, and more. However, there are considerations to keep in mind. As AI becomes more capable, there are concerns about the impact on job displacement, which I just said, yeah, and the ethical implications of AI decision-making. Yeah. Huh, interesting. I didn't think about that. Well, I mean, your Tesla drives itself. It's making decisions. A lot of times, maybe an AI can make a decision faster, and maybe it can make a better decision. I don't know. Additionally, the energy consumption of supercomputers and large-scale AI models is a growing concern. So yeah, energy consumption. I heard something on the Hard Fork podcast about the energy consumed to train the models was significant. Like now that they're trained, they're not using a ton of energy, but the training process used a lot of electricity, and therefore wherever it was used either, you know, coal, nuclear, or renewables, whatever it is, but it uses a lot of electricity. Kind of crazy to think about where this is going to go in the future. So I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So I think now what I want to do is bring in Bing to help me to sort of imagine what this future would look like with supercomputers and artificial intelligence, large language models, and I don't know, however this artificial intelligence sort of works. I mean, I really honestly just have no idea how a large language model works. Like, I guess it just predicts what the next word is going to be based off of whatever scraping of the internet takes place. I don't know. One thing I thought was interesting too that I just thought of as I was listening to that podcast, Hard Fork, they were saying, well, what in the future, what is it going to be like when the entire internet that AI is scraping is already just going to be AI content? So the images that AI makes right now are images that are generated from pre-existing like art and photos. And the language it produces in the large language models is produced from already existing books and research and everything else written by humans. But let's just say 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, when a lot of the internet is going to be, I guess, sort of regurgitated art and photos and videos and music and words and language that were produced by AI, what is that gonna look like? What comes to mind is a YouTube video that was made by one of my favorite YouTubers, MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee. Started watching him years ago, probably like in 2013, 2012. I started watching his videos that he would review just little, tech things like phones. I think one of the first videos I watched was probably him reviewing like a Samsung phone or something, like a Galaxy S3. But pretty recently, maybe a year or so ago, he made a video of YouTube's compression. So he did an experiment, I guess, of what it would look like if you, I guess, recorded a video in like really high resolution, uploaded it to YouTube, YouTube compresses it, and then download that file, upload that again, and do that over and over and over and over and over. Just let the compression take over. And what is that going to look like? The end result was pretty grainy, pretty awful. I don't know. Check it out. You could probably just Google it. But I wonder if that is what the internet is going to look like in the future. Just sort of a regurgitated, sort of version. I don't know. Maybe not. Or maybe AI will improve upon itself and kind of evolve on its own. Like I said, I have no idea how this stuff works. I'm just imagining. So, what is this going to look like in the future? Let's ask Bing to help us with that, because on Reddit, I saw something, a superconductor, and this has been in the news. I think it's called, in fact, I'm just going to type in, what's the name of the superconductor? One second here. Superconductor discovered in, I think it was Korea. I want to say it was LK something, LK99. So Bing is searching. Yeah, that's what it was. So the name of the superconductor was claimed to be discovered in Korea is LK99. It's a compound of copper, lead, phosphorus, and oxygen. So I guess it hasn't been confirmed to be a superconductor, but or to be legit. But I guess what's important, what's significant about this superconductor LK99 is that it is a superconductor, but at normal, like, room temperatures. So supercomputers, I think, need superconductors in order to work. In fact, I'm going to ask Bing that. Do supercomputers need superconductors to work? I imagine if it's processing these petaflops, petaflops, I can't remember the name, pflops, it's going to need very little resistance, and I think you're probably limited by the amount of heat, right? Because isn't that what happens when a CPU is processing lots and lots of information? It gets hot because of the resistance, and you're limited by that. But if you have a superconductor that is not, it doesn't have that resistance, or, you know, has a very, very little resistance, really low resistance, is not generating a lot of heat, then you can process even more information, right? All right, so here's what Bing says. So I guess I was maybe wrong, but it says, no, supercomputers do not need superconductors to work. Supercomputers are powerful machines that can perform a large number of calculations in a short time. They're usually made by many processors that work in parallel, okay? So supercomputers can use different types of technologies such as semiconductors, optical fibers, and quantum bits, don't even know what any of these things are, to process and store information. But I guess there's more. Superconductors are materials that can, this is all generated from Bing. So Bing is different from ChatGPT. From what I know, my layman's knowledge is that Bing is different from ChatGPT in that it has access to the Bing search engine. So it's using those in tandem, I guess. Those two things, the large language model and then also the search engine. And it cites your sources. Superconductors are materials that can conduct electricity without any resistance or energy loss when they are cooled below a certain temperature. This means that superconductors can carry large currents and generate strong magnetic fields without heating up or wasting power. Superconductors can also have quantum properties such as entanglement and coherence that can enable new types of computing. Some of the benefits of using superconductors in supercomputers are, so here's the benefits. This is my next question to the AI. Improved power efficiency. Superconductors can reduce the power consumption and heat dissipation of supercomputers by eliminating electrical resistance and current leakage. This can save energy and lower the cooling costs of supercomputers. It is estimated that supercomputer using superconductors could be 500 times more efficient than a conventional one. So power efficient, I guess. So it's not generating a bunch of heat. Increased speed and performance. So superconductors. I think that's what I find interesting. Is the performance. Like where's the limit to where the computers are going to go? Superconductors can enable ultra-fast switching and data transmission in supercomputers by using Josephson junctions and single flux quanta. So a lot of this is way beyond my understanding. Don't know what that means. These are devices that can switch on and off in picoseconds and operate at frequencies of up to 770 gigahertz. Superconductors can also enhance the memory capacity and bandwidth of supercomputers by using magnetic flux quanta to store and transport data. And yeah, there's a lot. So this was like a huge piece of information. What else does it go into? enhanced quantum computing. Quantum computing is a form of computing that uses quantum bits and qubits to perform operations based in quantum mechanics. Interesting. I don't know what that is. That seems like it would be a very long, deep dive before I understand any of that. There are some challenges and limitations of using superconductors in supercomputers. They are cryogenic cooling. Superconductors require very low temperatures to operate. So this is what I think, this is interesting. Cryogenic cooling. So superconductors require very low temperatures to operate, typically below 10 Kelvin or minus 263 degrees Celsius. So not everybody can get a environment that can be that cold to operate that superconductor. This means that supercomputers using superconductors need to be cooled by liquid helium or other cryogenic fluids. So that's a limitation. But if we find this room temperature superconductor, could be pretty interesting how things go. Fabrication and integration. Superconductors are difficult to fabricate. Okay. Reproducibility and reliability. Superconductors are sensitive to variations in temperature. So what if this discovery solves all of these problems? Fabrication, cooling, reproducibility. What if this LK99 is all of a sudden abundant and easy to reproduce and easy to manufacture, all of that? Kind of incredible. As of 2023, the state-of-the-art technology of supercomputing using superconductors is based on niobium, which is a metal that becomes a superconductor below 9.2 Kelvin. So that's the element, I guess, or maybe it's a alloy or something, I'm not sure. However, there's a possibility that a new material could revolutionize the field of superconducting using supercomputers. And here's what I was talking about, the LK99. This material is LK99, which is a compound of copper, lead, phosphorus, and oxygen that was claimed to be room temperature superconductor by a team of researchers from South Korea. It has not been verified. There's a lot of skepticism that goes on about that. It's not clear if LK99 is genuine. All right. So let's just see. Can you, well, you know what? I'm going to go back to ChatGPT because ChatGPT does a good job of imagining. Bing kind of is limited, I think. So I'm gonna close up with this. Can you help me imagine a future where room temperature, what is it called? Superconductor that are abundant, cheap to produce, and reliable is discovered. How would the evolution of supercomputers and the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence impact human lives? What would our future look like? And I want to know more. I think I want to type more into this prompt. Let's imagine 10 years into the future after this superconductor is discovered and mass produced. please paint a vivid picture of what life on Earth for humans will look like. And I wanted to write it in a creative style. So write the description in a creative style so that I can imagine what this looks like, what this will look like. Okay. All right, let's see what ChatGPT says. I wrote, it's still writing. Let's keep going. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to read this and then I'll close up with this. In a world where room temperature superconductors have been unlocked, the fabric of human existence unfurls into an astonishing tapestry of innovation and possibility. Imagine a morning where your alarm clock, powered by a minuscule superconductor, springs to life without drawing a hint of energy from the grid. As you step out of your home, the sidewalks hum with hidden conduits of energy, transmitting power effortlessly without losses. Electric vehicles glide silently along roads, their batteries charging with unparalleled efficiency from ubiquitous charging points. A stroll through a cityscape reveals a transformation that seems plucked from a sci-fi novel. Skyscrapers reach for the heavens, their designs limited only by imagination, as the ease of energy distribution allows for daring architectural feats. Massive vertical farms flourish within these structures, facilitated by controlled environments made possible through superconductor-enhanced cooling systems. Vast research complexes powered by superconducting grids unlock the secrets of the universe at a pace never before witnessed. The evolution of superconductors, now interconnected through a seamless web of superconducting data highways, propels artificial intelligence to dazzling heights. Complex simulations unfold in real time, aiding in drug discovery, climate modeling, and even predicting natural disasters with unprecedented accuracy. The fusion of AI and supercomputing drives medical breakthroughs that rewrite the possibilities of healthcare. Customized treatments tailored to an individual's genetic makeup are devised within hours thanks to lightning-fast AI-assisted analysis of medical records and molecular data. In this transformed world, energy poverty becomes a relic of the past. Remote villages and sprawling cities alike bask and glow in the glow of energy equality as superconductive power grids bring light, communication, and education to even the furthest corners of the globe. Yet amidst the marvels, a chorus of ethical questions arises. The symbolic dance of AI and superconducting challenges societal norms. Discussions on data privacy, AI ethics, and the preservation of human agency become central to public discourse. The duality of progress unfolds, with both utopian visions and unforeseen consequences intertwined. In this imaginative tapestry woven from the threads of superconductors, AI, and the boundless innovation, the essence of humanity's journey remains. The power to mold the future rests in the hands of those who navigate this new frontier with wisdom, responsibility, and the determination to preserve the human spirit amid the sea of limitless potential. Dang. That's pretty incredible. I can picture that. Pretty incredible. So yeah, is that our future? Is that what it's going to look like 10, 20, 30 years, 50 years, 100 years? Not sure. We will see. But what I'm doing right now with ChatGPT blows my mind as a person, as an elder millennial who understands what life was like before the internet, and kind of seeing this progression going from, playing Oregon Trail in my third grade class on a Macintosh computer in SimCity on a Commodore in my 4th grade class. I just remember these things. Encarta encyclopedias on my Windows 95 computer in middle school, to then seeing the internet kind of take off, not kind of take off, but very much in a huge way take off, like probably my sophomore to junior year in high school. How incredible it was to be able to talk to people across the country, across the planet on AOL Instant Messenger. And then, of course, websites and reading information that is showing up almost like magic on my computer screen. Whether it be, I didn't really read news in high school, but I guess you could have. Emails, or I used to go to band websites. And then you had the ability to even create your own website with, I don't know if you remember, Lycos and Angel Fire. Posting photos, and then Napster sharing music, watching music videos. Like, all of these things are just amazing to me, just watching this advancement. Real time, it seems like. Well, I've grown with it. Then social media, MySpace, Facebook, Instagram. Now we're in like the TikTok and Snapchat age. Meta. The metaverse, I'm not sure if that's going to take off, but Apple has its new headset. Is virtual reality going to be a huge thing? Augmented reality, it seems like it is. Apple has its hand in the pot. Probably is going to take off. So seeing this evolution is pretty incredible, and if this has happened within the last 20 years, going from just AOL Instant Messenger to having a large language model chatbot create a sci-fi like a short sci-fi story, what's going to happen in the next 20 years? Has progression slowed? I think maybe it's slowed briefly, but now we have this, and this seems to be unlocking some things. This seems to be a tool that humans can use that is going to just sort of explode. It already is exploding. I don't know. I've thought, is this as important as going from, wood tools to metal tools to discovering fire to like the wheel to the sword to the gun to the bomb? Like, how significant is this? It seems to me like right now it seems very significant. So yeah, those were my thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah. Talk to you in the next one. Bye.